You're tuned into Nightline. I'm Brendan Wong. News making the headlines. I will step down when the country is back on an even keel, says PM. And Bursa Malaysia aims 13 IPOs with market cap of 15 billion ringgit for second half of 2019. I will step down as Prime Minister when the country is back on an even keel. In making the statement, Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad stressed that he will keep his promise to step down before completing a full term in office. Tun Dr. Mahathir was asked to comment on Datuk Sri Muhammad Azmin Ali's call for the former to serve a full term for a stable Malaysia. In the Economic Affairs Minister's statement 2 days ago, he said Malaysians voted in the previous general election for institutional reforms, and this would only be possible if there was stability in the government.
Tetapi saya dah bagi undertaking that I will step down when I find that the situation in the country has been put on an even keel and can carry on from there. It may be 2 years, it may be 3 years, I don't know, but we are working on that. Unless they push me to a corner and put a gun to my head and say, you continue until you finish your term, unless you do that, I will step down. I keep my promise.
Tun Dr. Mahathir spoke to the media after a roundtable meeting with the International Chambers of Commerce in the Federal Administrative Capital on Thursday. At the same media conference, Tun Dr. Mahathir also confirmed that he had met with several members of the opposition who had expressed support for him to complete a full term as Prime Minister. He added that even past President Datuk Sri Abdul Hadi Awang had constantly urged him to continue being Prime Minister.
The meeting actually happened, but I mean everybody, not just opposition, even NGOs, I meet them. And as you know, the past president, Haji Hadi, has been saying all the time that he supports me. There's nothing new. Yeah, they want to come and see me, I see them. I hear what they want to say. Well, a lot of them express support for me. Thank you very much.
He said this when asked to comment on reports that a group of opposition members had met with him last Tuesday in the presence of a federal cabinet minister. Tun Dr. Mahathir, however, declined to name the cabinet minister. Tun Dr. Mahathir also said that Malaysia is waiting on Australian Liners Corp's plan to manage low-level radioactive waste from its rare earths processing plant ahead of a license renewal. He said Liners, whose operating license at the $800 million plant is up for renewal on September the 2nd, has been embroiled in a long-running dispute with Malaysia over how to deal with waste at the plant.
We are giving this condition to Liners that they should have a plan for dealing with the waste. We are waiting for them to tell us how they will do that, whether they find a place where they can deposit the waste or not.
Liners is the only major producer of rare earths outside of China. The government has set conditions in December for Liners to remove its waste stockpile before it would renew its operating license. At the same media conference, the Prime Minister also confirmed that the government's proposed acquisition of 4 tolled highways in the Klang Valley would eventually take place, but that the Cabinet would decide on a new date after deliberating on the matter. He said for now, the government needs to consider its capability to finance the takeover.
Well, the Finance Ministry seems to be convinced it can be done. Our problem is that we don't have the money. But the Finance Ministry says by charging during the peak hours, they can raise enough funds to pay for the acquisition of these 4 highways. We will have to see whether that will be enough or not.
So it has been put on hold?
Yeah. No, it has been, in any case, we have decided that there will be a time when we will implement.
Singapore's Straits Times on Wednesday had reported that the finance minister's proposal to take over the 4 highway toll concessions for 6.2 billion ringgit from Gamuda Berhad had been put on hold for a re-examination of the offered price. It quoted government sources as saying that the government, including cabinet members, believed the offer was excessive and that the projected revenue from the introduction of a congestion charge might not be enough to fund the acquisition. Finance Minister Lim Guan Eng had in June announced that a congestion charge would be introduced beginning January the 1st next year, once the takeover of the tolled highways was completed. The Finance Ministry, meanwhile, said that the 6.2 billion ringgit price tag for the highway takeover is not final. Its Deputy Minister, Datuk Amiruddin Hamzah, said the government will carry out a due diligence process to determine the final value of the highways.
Itu semua bukan tidak final. Tidak final. Kita nak kena buat due diligence lagi. Kan? So itu I think probably off the cuff punya ni dulu yang disebut, sebab bila you nak offer dekat orang before dia punya shareholders untuk nak buat keputusan, kena adalah some figures kan. Agaknya that was the first one. But then after they say yes, if this is the amount, and then we've got to do due diligence. And then if the due diligence process shows that the amount is too low or is too high, and then something has got to be done.
According to him, what is important for the Pakatan Harapan government is to fulfill its election manifesto of reducing and eliminating toll. And during the event, Tun Dr. Mahathir said Malaysia remains committed to providing a conducive environment to encourage the inflow of foreign capital and technology as it strives to remain as the preferred destination for foreign investors. The Prime Minister said Malaysia was also mindful of the need to strengthen the global competitiveness of Malaysia's industries. Tun Dr. Mahathir pointed out that there had been a lot of narratives on Industry 4.0, artificial intelligence, innovation, automation, Internet of Things and other technological advancements, and their potential impact on all industries.
It is also essential for the public and private sectors to work closer together to drive the development of Industry 4.0 ecosystem in Malaysia, one which enables us to fully optimize all our sources of talent, be they local, graduates, the Malaysian diaspora, skilled foreign talents, or our insufficiently leveraged pool of latent talent.
In view of this, Tun Dr. Mahathir called on the foreign business community to help drive competitiveness and innovation to create jobs of the future in Malaysia. Bursa Malaysia Berhad is aiming for a total of 13 initial public offerings or IPOs with a market capitalization of 15 billion ringgit for the second half of this year. Its Chief Executive Officer, Datuk Muhammad Umar Swift, said they are expected to be listed on the main market board, 7 on the ACE market and 3 on the LEAP market.
Second half of the year, we're looking at approximately 3 listings for main board. On the ACE market, we have 7 listings approved, ready and waiting to be pending listing. On the LEAP market, we have 3 approved applications pending listing.
He was speaking at an analyst and media briefing on the first half of the 2019 financial results on Thursday. Datuk Muhammad Umar added, Malaysia has all the right fundamentals to move forward and improve its investment flow into the stock market. These, he said, include the East Coast Rail Link or ECRL project and the relaunch of Bandar Malaysia, besides a strong banking system, a stable government and the World Bank's gross domestic product growth forecast of 4.6% for the country. For the first half of 2019, 14 IPOs were listed on Bursa Malaysia with a market cap of 5.5 billion ringgit. In 2018, a total of 22 IPOs were listed with a total market cap of 2.5 billion ringgit. While in 2017, there were 14 IPOs with a 21.5 billion ringgit market cap. Action will be taken against errant taxi and e-hailing drivers who have yet to sign up for the Self-Employment Social Security Scheme under the Social Security Organization SOCSO. SOCSO Deputy Chief Executive Officer of Operations John R. Marin said Ops Patuh, which began on Thursday, will be carried out for 1 month to ensure that all 316,000 taxi and e-hailing drivers registered under the Land Public Transport Agency contribute to the scheme.
Sekiranya pemandu taksi dan e-hailing didapati gagal mendaftar dan mencarum dengan PKSO, maka PKSO akan mengeluarkan notis amaran kepada mereka. Notis akan dikeluarkan serta-merta kepada mereka di dalam operasi ini. Kita akan keluarkan notis amaran dan seterusnya mereka dikehendaki untuk hadir kepada PKSO dan menunjukkan bukti mereka telah pun berdaftar dan bercaruman dalam tempoh 7 hari daripada notis amaran tersebut.
Speaking at the launch of the operation on Thursday, Marin said if the taxi and e-hailing drivers fail to provide proof, SOCSO will take action according to Act 789. He added that contributors only needed to pay a minimum of 13 ringgit and 10 cents per month to be covered under the scheme, which was in line with requirements by the Act. Only 35,737 drivers have registered for the scheme since it was launched in June 2017. The Datuk Sri Muhammad Najib Tun Razak's SRC trial. Infamous fugitive businessman Lau Tek Jo, better known as Joe Low, has requested former AmBank relationship manager Joanne Yu Jingping to lie for the purpose of cashing out 3 bank drafts totaling 139 million ringgit issued by SRC International Sendirian Berhad's AmBank account. 48-year-old Yu said the bank draft was supposedly issued to pay Putra Perdana Construction Sendirian Berhad on behalf of Gandingan Mentari Sendirian Berhad, which was not a subsidiary of SRC at that time. Yu said Jolo asked her to lie about the bank draft in July 2014. The 54th prosecution witness said Jolo also asked her to make up a story about the bank draft issued to AmBank and Public Bank. Questioned further, Yu revealed that the SRC's money was transferred to Datuk Sri Najib's account to avoid it from being overdrawn. She said the instruction to transfer the money came from Jolo. Havinderjit asserted that Jolo took great efforts to ensure checks did not bounce, including foreign remittances of 49 million ringgit and 16 cash deposits of various values. Grilled further on Jolo's role in transferring funds into Datuk Sri Najib's accounts, Yu confirmed that Jolo had once sought information about transferring US dollars, especially whether Bank Negara Malaysia's approval was needed for transfers below 50 million ringgit. Havinderjit suggested that Joe's query about this showed his intention to take 100 million ringgit out of SRC International, convert it into US dollars and send the funds back. It was revealed that 5 days after the query, SRC International transferred 105 million ringgit to Putra Perdana Construction's account. The trial continues on Monday. Police have confirmed that a Malaysian national was detained as he was believed to be in possession of 6 kilograms of shabu in Kalimantan, Indonesia last month. Inspector General Police Datuk Sri Abdul Hamid Bado said he had received information from the police of the Republic of Indonesia on the detention of the man who was believed to have originated from Tawau, Sabah. Datuk Sri Abdul Hamid said police have received information on the matter. However, further information on the incident had yet to be obtained.
Saya berpegang pada statement saya mengatakan bahawa ancaman dadah di negara ini amat serius sekali. Ya. Saya kekal dengan statement saya. So saya mengalu-alulah sekiranya ada pihak yang ingin membuat kajian akademik, kajian terperinci tentang permasalahan ini.
He said this to reporters after the official launching of the National Decade of Reading at the Royal Malaysian Police PDRM level at the Cheras PDRM College on Thursday. Earlier, the Indonesian media reported that the Malaysian national was among 5 individuals who were detained in East Kalimantan on suspicion of attempting to smuggle drugs into that country. The report disclosed that the Malaysian national was the mastermind who played a role in smuggling the drug into the Republic. The Thai government, particularly the local authorities in Sungai Golok, is committed to improving the image of the country's southernmost region, which was badly affected by the unrest in the region. It is working towards revitalizing the tourism industry in particular, which had experienced a difficult time due to economic uncertainties. According to Sungai Golok Mayor Suchada Panarai, despite competition from other fast-growing border towns, Sungai Golok remains a unique attraction. The city is cleaner and more relaxing, as traffic is not much of a nuisance like most places, even on weekends. Besides its numerous business premises, the weekly street market also offers visitors a unique experience. She said the Thai government will also give priority to protecting the safety of people, especially tourists visiting the country.
จุดประสงค์เราต้องการให้คนที่ได้ฟังสื่อจากทีวีช่อง 3ในวันนี้ได้เห็นบรรยากาศในเมืองสุไหงโกลกเราว่าเป็นเมืองนะคะที่ยังเป็นชีวิตปกติอยู่เหมือนเดิมนะคะมีนักท่องเที่ยวได้เข้ามาท่องเที่ยวของเราเนี่ยก็อย่างปกตินะคะก็ถือโอกาสที่จะให้ทางสื่อทีวีช่อง 3เนี่ยได้ไปทำความประชาสัมพันธ์ให้คนที่ท่องเที่ยวมาเลเซียได้เข้ามานะคะว่าบ้านเมืองเราก็เป็นปกติเหมือน
Suchada said this after meeting with Media Prima Berhad's television network news and current affairs team headed by its managing editor Datuk Manjo Ismail. The visit was on the invitation of the mayor, who personally took the MPB team on a tour of its various tourism facilities, including a modern futsal field often used by teams from Kelantan. The Makkah Clock Tower, standing at 601 meters, is the tallest clock tower and the third tallest building in the world. Built at a cost of 62 billion ringgit, it is now part of the Abraj Al Bait complex in front of Masjidil Haram. Fazila Hani Harun, who joined a group of Malaysian journalists covering the Hajj, visited the tower.
The Makkah Royal Clock Tower has the world's largest clock face and is the third tallest building in the world. Here we are at the balcony where visitors can enjoy panoramic view of the Grand Mosque and its surroundings. The Makkah Clock Tower is also the highest occupied tower in the world. The four-faced green clock is visible from some 17 kilometers away at night and 12 kilometers during the day. It is covered by 98 million glass mosaic adorned with 24-carat gold leaf. With each clock face measuring 43 meters, it is 35 times larger than London's Big Ben.
The objective is designed for the whole world, for the Muslims and non-Muslim. It contributes for the most accurate time and calendar measurements. It's a very high technical, as you know, center, and it provides the people with the timing, prayer times for all over the world, and the direction, Qibla direction for any place.
The Clock Tower Museum, which opened to the public last May, allows visitors to embark on a journey of faith through the universe with its exhibits. It is structured on 4 floors. One of the floors is dedicated to the sun and the moon, another for time measurement, while the first floor is devoted to the giant clock. The Clock Tower Museum already has 40,000 visitors going through its door since opening last Ramadan, and it is targeting 3 million visitors annually after the current Hajj season. The entrance fee is fixed at 150 rial, or about 165 ringgit. Fazila Harun for Nightline, TV3.
Police on a hunt for naked prowler. Stay tuned for details.
Catch the auto segment every Friday on Nightline. Woo! Wow!
Welcome back. In Kuala Lumpur, police on Thursday are on the hunt for a naked man who attempted to break into a house in Taman Harmonis, Gombak. According to police, one of the occupants of the house had heard a noise downstairs at about 3 a.m. and went to investigate. The victim was then surprised to see a naked man trying to break the front window and screamed, causing the suspect to run off in the commotion. Based on CCTV footage, it appeared that the suspect was acting alone. The video of the brazen man sneaking into the house went viral online recently after it was uploaded onto Facebook. In Terengganu, a 27-year-old man was arrested after he stabbed a 53-year-old man on the face in a robbery attempt at a house in Kampung Bonggol, Tok Jiring, Kuala Nerus on Wednesday night. According to police, the suspect was said to have broken into the victim, Muhammad Padzli Ismail's house before a scuffle broke out when the victim refused to hand over money. The suspect then stabbed the victim on his face and hid on the roof of the house as he tried to flee. Villagers arrived at the scene minutes later and managed to catch the suspect before handing him over to police. In Perak, a teenager was fined 1,500 ringgit by the Sungai Siput Magistrates Court on Thursday for making a fake police report alleging that his sling bag had been snatched. Magistrate Nurhab Sarina Ayub handed down the punishment on the accused Muhammad Akram, 19, after he pleaded guilty to the charges. Based on the case facts, Abraz made a false police report because he was worried that his mother would scold him for losing his sling bag when he was having a drink at a restaurant. The Kelantan Health Department has warned the public to be on the alert for rove beetles, popularly known as Charlie ants, following 21 reports of attacks since May in the state. The Health Department has already alerted all district education officers to inspect their premises for the insect. As a short-term measure, fogging exercises and pest control efforts were also carried out to reduce its population. The public is also advised to avoid touching or crushing the insect, as it has poisonous toxins that can cause painful wounds when touched. Dozens killed in Yemen's twin attacks. Details after this breather. On to the foreign front. Indonesia on Thursday deployed nearly 6,000 personnel to douse wildfires that have prompted 6 provinces to declare a state of emergency. According to a National Disaster Mitigation Agency spokesman, the fires have razed more than 30,000 hectares of forest and land in the provinces of South Sumatra Riau, Jambi on Sumatra Island, and West Kalimantan, South Kalimantan, Central Kalimantan provinces on Borneo Island. He added that the firefighting measures included area water drops in anticipation of worsening forest fires that each year spread health-damaging haze across much of Southeast Asian countries, especially Malaysia. Over in Yemen, 2 separate attacks struck the southern port city of Aden, killing at least 40 people and wounding dozens of others on Thursday. According to local authorities, the first attack was a suicide car bombing carried out by unknown militants on a police station in the Sheikh Othman neighborhood of Aden. 3 policemen were killed and at least 20 others wounded in the incident, including civilians. Meanwhile, the second attack was carried out by Iranian-backed Houthi rebels who launched an armed drone and a ballistic missile which struck a parade in the Al-Jala military camp west of Aden, killing at least 37 people. No groups have claimed responsibility for the first attack, and authorities are still investigating to determine whether the 2 attacks were linked. Action from the 2019 Audi Cup final. Don't go away. Sports badminton, the 2019 Thailand Open. National woman shuttler Sonia Chia and men's doubles pair Go Wee Shem and Tan Wee Kyung march into the quarterfinals following victories over their respective opponents in the second round on Thursday. In the women's singles, Sonia produced a comprehensive display as she dispatched China's fifth seed He Bingqiao 21-15 and 21-12. She will next face another Chinese shuttler, Chen Yufei, in the last 8. Meanwhile, in the men's doubles, Go and Tan came from a set down to beat Chen Kai and Chao Hai Tong of China. The pair lost in the first set 19-21 before winning the remaining 2 sets 21-16, 21-18. They will next play China's Li Junhui, Liu Yu Chen for a place in the last 4.